टीएमसी के प्रशांत जैन से बात की, तो आइए हमारे मैनेजिंग एडिटर निकुंज ने उनसे बात की थी। क्या थी इंटरेस्टिंग कॉन्वर्सेशन, एक बार फिर से आपको सुनवाते हैं।
Let me start with a very basic question. This is for the first time in this COVID bull market or the post-COVID bull market, we have seen a sizable correction, 10% plus on the index, 20% plus for 20% plus on in mid and small cap stocks. Do you think this is a much awaited correction and geopolitics and Fed is just a reason?
So Nikunj, I would probably agree with that. And as I have often said, that real risks are not known, and I think something similar has played out. And if you recall, even in our last conversation, we had discussed that markets are expensive and one should have moderate expectations and invest only with the long-term view and be prepared for volatility. So I think the reason for volatility, of course, was not anticipated, but I would feel that this is a reasonable correction, good correction, but still I would say it's not time to be over optimistic on the markets, but it's still time to be cautious, time to moderate expectations. And I'm sure you would have observed that companies that had weak earnings or massive earnings expectations into the futures, they have been impacted more. And this is how over time, excesses also get driven out of the markets. Yes.
Let's divide the market into three parts: short term, medium term, and the long term. We've got a maze of issues staring at us: Fed, geopolitical crisis, flare up in crude. How does your short term, medium term, and long term market outlook change given what is happening in the world?
So I think Nikunj, short term is always extremely tough to call. And I think clearly in the short term, very short term, important would be that what kind of sanctions are imposed, what is the likely impact. Though I do feel that given the scale of Russian oil and gas supply, I think very meaningful sanctions are probably impractical. So if sanctions are not too stiff, I guess market should stabilize. And significant selling has taken place, and we have seen time and again markets tend to bottom out closer to the peak of the panic. And I feel the peak of the panic is probably behind us from a very short-term perspective. Over medium term, I think what will matter, focus could again come back after a few months or few quarters to US interest rates, to inflation, to economic growth, and to valuations. And there, how do energy prices behave? What kind of inflationary impact the current geopolitical environment has on energy prices remains to be seen. It could also have some impact on commodity prices. It could lead to inflation. So I think those are the variables over medium term. Longer term, I think in India, there is no reason to be pessimistic. Equities are a compounding asset class. India is a growing economy. Though I must say the pace of economic recovery, which one was expecting, is at least not showing up in the credit growth as of now. And I think that's a key variable, that key monitorable for India. I think if credit growth picks up, it would be extremely positive for India. But for now, credit growth remains quite weak.